Most international trade agreements move slowly. They often stall for years in bureaucratic gridlock as nations struggle to find a middle ground between protecting domestic workers and opening up to foreign competition. Yet in April 2026, India and New Zealand signed a comprehensive free trade agreement at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, covering everything from market access to professional mobility. This timeline compares the decade usually required for a deal of this scope against the timeline used here. These two nations moved from resuming negotiations to a final signing in 9 months. This acceleration suggests a shift in trade diplomacy. It shows that massive economic alignment is possible in a fraction of the usual time when the political will is present. India, a developing economy of 1.4 billion, protects its agriculture, while New Zealand, a nation of 5 million, exports it. To solve this mismatch, negotiators used an asymmetric model, exchanging complementary value instead of fighting for perfectly mirrored concessions. By focusing on complementary strengths rather than trying to match each other's domestic structures, they bypassed the issues that typically lead to years of delay. New Zealand provided the initial momentum by eliminating duties on 100% of its tariff lines. This grants duty-free access to 8,284 different Indian products. This move targets India's manufacturing strengths, specifically providing a boost for exporters in the textile and garment sectors. Indian pharmaceutical companies also gain duty-free access, allowing them to compete more effectively in the New Zealand market. India, in turn, kept strict protections on its most sensitive domestic sectors, maintaining high tariffs on dairy and onions to protect its local farmers. To create a reciprocal opening, India removed tariffs on New Zealand's sheep meat, wool, and coal to support its own domestic manufacturing and industrial needs. This compromise feeds India's industrial growth with raw materials while keeping its domestic food markets insulated from foreign competition. The treaty is anchored by a significant capital commitment. This chart shows the $20 billion investment pipeline New Zealand has pledged to India over the next 15 years. This capital is designated for joint centers of excellence, focusing on agricultural technology and improving commercial apple yields. Further investments are targeted toward modernizing Indian honey production. The deal also includes a quota of 5,000 temporary employment visas for skilled Indian professionals in sectors like IT and healthcare, along with 1,000 work and holiday visas for younger travelers. By including these provisions, the agreement treats the exchange of skilled labor and long-term capital as being just as vital as the movement of physical goods. Both nations are using these tariff changes to pursue a specific target, doubling their current bilateral trade from $2.4 billion to $5 billion within 5 years. Prime Minister Christopher Luxon views this agreement as a tool to diversify New Zealand's export destinations and double the country's total export value over the next decade. For New Zealand, this market access provides a way to reduce reliance on traditional trading partners and spread economic risk across the Indo-Pacific. This pact is part of a broader strategy for India. It's the 7th free trade agreement the country finalized in just 3.5 years. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is continuing this trajectory, with similar negotiations currently underway with the United States and the European Union. If these upcoming deals are finalized, Indian exporters would have preferential access to markets that represent nearly 70% of global GDP. In a decade where many nations are looking to realign their supply chains, the ability to negotiate and sign deals quickly provides a logistical advantage. This agreement shows that when countries are willing to lean into their structural differences, they can create trade partnerships that are more resilient to global shifts.